Hey there and welcome back to Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. I'm Steven and tonight, whenever the heck you're watching this, we are getting into Pinhook Hard Rye Guy Cask Strength this time. Alrighty, so today we are talking all about Pinhook Hard Rye Guy High Proof version. A little while back, we tried the low proof version. We did a review of it. I'll try to pin that right around here. We really liked it. I was legitimately surprised just because it was a random pickup. I had no expectations going into it. It's 2-year-old craft whiskey. I was like, this can't be good. We really liked it. For $30, we thought it was a really good pickup. When I saw this guy sitting on the shelf at one of my local liquor stores, I just couldn't resist. Of course I had to pick it up. So this guy, this hard rye guy, MSRP roughly around 55-ish. I think I spent like 53 or something like that. So 50 to 55. So kind of cheap, high proof rye whiskey. It is 60% rye, 20% corn, and 20% malted barley. It is 122 proof. 122 proof? That's pretty high for high proof rye whiskey. I mean, most high proof rye whiskeys around like 110, 115 maybe. Not a lot breach 120, so very interested to see where this goes. And this stuff is 3 years old, and it is from Castle and Key, just like all the other Pinhook. So 3-year-old craft distillate, which is pretty awesome. This is a year older than the budget one, and it's a serious proof hike of like 24 proof or something like that. And it's only like $25 more, so let's get into it. And this is a fresh cork pop for me. Let's get into it. Ooh. Raisins. Caramel covered raisins. A little bit of like a minty note too. It's kind of like a cherry lozenge and a mint lozenge, like one of those spearmint and cherry like cough drops if you mix them together. And it reminds me of like Raisinets, like the chocolate covered raisins. Ooh, that's interesting. It's very dark. It's definitely rye spice, but it's definitely a darker side of rye spice. It's not that bright, vibrant, light side of rye that I'm used to seeing. This is really dark. This definitely has a little bit more oak than I would have guessed coming from a 3-year-old product, but overall it is really good. Definitely getting a lot of that like black pepper, a lot of that like chocolate raisin, like raisinette, a little bit of like cherry syrup in there, and a small amount of like a minty vibe going on in there, but very, very dark and dense. Let's go ahead and get on the palate. Wow, that is an explosion. And it starts off super duper heavy on that black cherry licorice note. Kind of goes into like this like brown sugary sweetness, and then it finishes off with like a heavy amount of like baking spices, cinnamon, and some black licorice. It finishes into that really nice like authentic black licorice that's like kind of salty. Going back there on a second sip, it's super black licorice, baking spices, super cherry, little oaky, and then it has this like peanut characteristic as well. Very solid. It drinks seriously light for 122 proof. Typically, ryes, like I'll drink a rye at like 110, 115, and it'll drink like it's like 120, 125. This is 122, and it's drinking like it's like 110. For me at least. It's drinking super light right now, but it's very solid. Finish moderately long, solid like black licorice peanuttiness. After it's sitting in the glass for a little bit, now I'm starting to get a little bit of like a lighter fruit, kind of like a cherry, strawberry, a little bit of like a lemony, like strawberry lemonade type thing going on in there, as well as you're still getting that like heavy baking spice, black licorice, salt. It's so weird because it's salty black licorice. It's like slightly salty black licorice. Very interesting. I like this a lot. Raisins, cherries, chocolate, black licorice. These are notes, or well, some of these notes I typically get on a rye. Those are normal, but the raisins, the chocolate, I don't get a lot of that on rye normally, so I'm digging this bottle. I really like it. This is definitely like a fall vibe going on in this glass, which I'm digging it. I like it a lot. Overall, $55. I'm gonna say it's a solid B+. I know we gave the low proof a solid B. This being $55 and the extra complexity and intrigue that it brings, I definitely think it's a little bit better and a better value than the low proof overall. But I think it's only a B+. I want it to be an A just because I'm really like blown away with how good the stuff that Pinhook is bringing at such a young age, because this is 3 years old, the low proof stuff's 2 years old. Like it's fantastic at such a young age. I can't wait to see more once they start aging their stuff up. And again, like I said in the low proof one, I want to see like a 4 to 6 year old rendition of this stuff. Maybe even now trying this at 3 years old, I would say 6. 6 year old high proof Pinhook. I'm all in on that stuff. That sounds fantastic. So overall, Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans gives Pinhook Hard Rye Guy High Proof a B+. It's a very solid high proof rye whiskey. It's a little bit dark and dense, so if that's not your vibe, it's not your vibe. But I do think this is a really fitting rye for like the fall time. Before we head out though, please, as always, do us a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys thought about this review. Let us know what you guys think about this bottle. Let us know if you guys have any other suggestions for higher proof rye whiskey that's around like the $50 or $60 range. I'm starting to really like that higher proof budget-ish rye where it's like $50, $60 for a really quality high proof rye whiskey. Also, check out the Facebook, Instagram, and our Patreon. The link for that is down there below. We appreciate you all for all the support you guys are bringing. Cheers. We'll see you later.